Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So the title of this video is, if you're a successful man in your 20s and you have a desire to get married and have a family, do not settle for something that you know is the antithesis for what you want and you desire in your life. And I'm going to use an X post that I found as an example for just expanding the options you have in your life, giving you a different perspective of your value as a man in the West earning United States dollars and what that can actually get you in the terms of the global marketplace of dating and your value and things like that. So I'm going to flash this X post up on the screen. It's since been deleted, and for all intents and purposes, I'm going to assume that this was real. But essentially, the post laid out that a dad was proud of his 22-year-old son who was earning $70,000 working at UPS and was going to marry a girl 10 years older than him. Now, if this is this man's life's choice and he's decided that this is what he desires, then that's totally fine. That's not really the point that I'm going at here, is attacking this one person or saying what this one person is doing is wrong. What I'm trying to show is that his circumstance is a circumstance that a lot of men find themselves nowadays, where they're very undervalued in the Western country that they lie in, whether it's the United States, Australia, United Kingdom. High-paying jobs are at an all-time low access due to the state of the economy, the wealth inequality that we experience today. And this is not a rant against capitalism video. I'm just being realistic about where things are at. And specifically for Zoomer men and younger, it's getting very hard for them to acquire the same status and wealth and home ownership, family construction that was experienced in the previous generations. And so a lot of men that age are being forced to settle for things way less than they probably desire in life. And like I said, I don't know this man's specific circumstance, but I can speak to a general circumstance as a whole, where the sexual dating marketplace is so out of whack and out of balance. The financial marketplace is also completely out of whack. The job market is not catering towards young people in any sort of way, as we have people in older generations remaining at their high-paying positions to continue to earn money into their 60s and 70s and 80s while also collecting Social Security checks and Medicaid. And so what you have is, because of the competitiveness of this market, you have young men forced to date women way older than them just to find any sort of success in the dating marketplace. And that's not all men, of course. But if you look at across the board, a lot of men are just choosing in America not to date at all, especially young men. They just don't find it worth it. They don't like the options available. And so men who have the desire in their heart to find a wife, get married, and have children are sort of reduced to being very desperate and taking options that maybe wouldn't be seen as very desirable for them because that's all they have available. And what I'm trying to explain on this channel is that if you step out of the mindset of your country, of your nation, of the West, and you expand it to a global mindset, and you think about your value as a whole on the entire world stage, it can quickly open your mind to what your options are really like, what you could actually achieve in terms of your cost of living standards, finding a spouse that fits all your certain requirements, or finding a girlfriend or finding a partnership that fits your desires appropriately and isn't something you're having to settle for. This channel is about opening up your mind to the ability to pick your life and to build your life the way you want to be, not be reduced to having to settle for something or go, well, this is just my best option, I guess I'll just have to do this. We have to realize that in this current global environment, that countries are competing for citizens. And you have to realize that you have the entire world now as your oyster to explore what kind of lifestyle fits for you, what people you want to associate with, and where you want to date and find potential partners. And so, like I said, if it's someone's desire and choice to marry a woman 10 years older than them, and that's what they feel compelled to do, and it works for their life, then there's nothing for me to say that that's wrong. They should totally go for that if they so choose. But what I'm saying is, don't make it so that you feel like that's your only option. If you look at other countries in Latin America that I've visited, Asia, Southeast Asia, and these places, your value on the dating marketplace is significantly and exponentially higher than what it is in the United States or the Anglosphere. That's just a reality. And you may have heard that from people in the passport bro movement or the travel abroad movement, and maybe never explored it. And what I'm saying is, maybe just if you're not satisfied with what your life is becoming here, just start exploring those solutions. So at least you know what your options are, and then you can make a conscious choice to continue to date in the US and find your partner in the US, or explore your other options. I have no problem with people making conscious choices to stay and date in the United States and continue to try and make their lives work here. I have no problem with that. I just want men to know about the choices that are available. That's all I'm trying to do on this channel, so you can find the best path for you, because I don't want men simply reduced to having to work jobs they don't like for salaries of which they're underpaid, and then dating women they don't really desire because they feel like that's their only option available. When really you have the power, with the power of the US dollar and the power of you being somewhat of a commodity and higher up on the sexual marketplace, to build a significantly better life than you could imagine in one of these other countries. And so research these things. If you're feeling this way, if you're going, hey, I feel undervalued here, I don't feel like I'm achieving what I want. Now, of course, if you aren't trying to build your life, you're not on a purpose, you don't have a good relationship with God, you're not in shape, you're not attractive, and you're complaining about these things, well, maybe there's some internal work that needs to be done first. And that happens with everybody. Everyone has a period where they need to go through some, internal changes to make themselves better every day. But if you feel like you're already on that path of doing that, and you feel like that, you're just not coming across your equal in the dating marketplace or in the job market, then I would highly recommend you consider some of these other options. Look into places in Latin America, look into places in Asia and Southeast Asia. Think about all your options and evaluate before you make a choice. And like I said, I don't know the man in the post specific situation, but I have a feeling that if he was informed of other options where, hey, if you're 22 years old and you're making a decent salary and you can take that remote, or you can build up savings to where you can live in a different country for another period of time, and he could date women much younger than him who had more childbearing years, in the tank, so to speak, to build a family, and he could find someone, more attractive, someone that fit his preferences more. Maybe he would have a different perspective on the situation. I don't know. But there's a lot of men out there who I feel like they're just not getting their preferences fulfilled. They're not getting their internal desires fulfilled. Doesn't mean everything that you desire should be met. But if those basic things, you feel like that there's just a level of disappointment across the board, if nothing changes, nothing changes. You need to look into something. It's not really going to get much better in the West. I think it's just going to continue to get more and more difficult. And even if it's not a matter of age or physical attractiveness to the partners you're looking for, it may be a form of religious or social compatibility. I mean, the statistics showing that young men are becoming more conservative, young women are becoming less conservative. Does it mean that you can't find a match here in the US? Absolutely not. There's people still matching up. It doesn't have to do with, is there still good women or women that fit your preferences left in the US? It's more about, can you get access to those women? And what are the chances of you finding someone you're compatible with? Those are what we're talking about here. And if you can go to a different country where the chances increase astronomically that you can find someone you're compatible with, it may seem like a better allocation of resources to look into those things, to maybe find it in that sense. And I'm not saying only look into traveling abroad just because of, you want to find a spouse. There needs to be other reasons, economic, maybe a different kind of lifestyle, a more traditional lifestyle. It needs to be the full package for sure to make it work. But if you're feeling that way, look into your options, expand your options. And my channel is about, I already have some videos on the country of Colombia, giving people, traditionally Christian-minded men, honest opinions of these places and can these things work. Obviously, there's people who travel abroad just to party, deal with the local SCX tourism stuff. I'm not into that. I'm not encouraging people into that. I'm talking about traditionally minded men who have good hearts, who want to build families, who want to be able to have their mothers take care of their children at home and have the economic circumstance to do that, and are finding it hard in the US because there's a lot of you guys out there and you're just stuck and you're going, what can I do? I have no good options. It feels like, well, you do have some good options. That's what I'm trying to tell you, is that there are some options available. We'll take a little extra elbow grease. We'll take a little bit of extra work and research. Absolutely. But for your own life and improving your own life and circumstances, I think it's 100% worth it. So let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think about this specific situation? Is it a situation you found yourself in? Do you feel like that your compatibility and desires are being met here in the Western countries? I would like to hear your thoughts. I'm doing a ton of videos on traveling abroad, things related to masculinity, Christianity. So if you like videos like that, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time.